Shalom and welcome. Welcome to you if you seek to do the will of the Almighty Father, whom I have grown to call Yahuah, who draws us to his word, which was manifest in Yahusha's name. And I'm referencing John 6:44, who sent his set-apart spirit in Yahusha's name. And I'm referencing John 14:26. Endtimes will prove, my brothers and sisters, the need to get our communication and understanding of our relationship with Abba Yahuah straightened out, refined, perfected as he desires it to be. This message is part of a series that I'm calling True Looks. True Looks. Why? Because I want us to begin to ask ourselves, what does that look like? And the title on this message is Urgent Language. What does it look like? True looks. When Yashar'al began to come together swiftly and urgently to escape the destruction that is outlined in end times. What does it look like? How will we talk to one another? Are we improving the way we communicate with one another to understand one another better? True looks. I believe it's time for us to recognize urgent language, my brothers and sisters. You see, end times will provide times to communicate. It will demand that we communicate clearly in order that we may move in the directions we should go. Consider the conditions that's unfolding, my brothers and sisters. Consider the conditions spoken of in the 24th chapter of Matthew. Consider looking at 4 through 14 in the 24th chapter of Matthew and ask yourself, in such conditions, how should we communicate with one another? Revelation 6:8, Revelation 8:7 through 11, and Revelation 9:15 through 18 talks about massive death. If people are dying, if destruction is going on, wars, famine, fightings, how do you think we would speak to one another? You see, my brothers and sisters, there are many teachings, camps, mores that spend more time claiming to be teaching you Hebrew, and they are sadly mistaken. Some are teaching you they just use the term Hebrew. They don't qualify whether it's modern Hebrew or Yiddish or Paleo or ancient. And even in times when they do qualify it or be more specific, they are mixing terms, modern Hebrew with Yiddish and even Paleo. Neither of these are the pure lip that the scriptures speak of. You see, my brothers and sisters, man tried to establish a name for himself when man had one lip, one language. They want to make a name for themselves. And as a result of that, they were building this tower, which has commonly been known by many as the Tower of Babel. Visit Genesis 11, chapter 1 through 9, and you will see where man's action, when they had one lip, was trying to establish themselves in a way that was contrary, that conflicted with what Abba Yahuah had provided. And it was Abba Yahuah who brought about the confusion languages because of our rebellion. And he promised, it is written in Zephaniah 3:8 through 9, that he will return us to a pure lip. And because of this verse, many people are trying to erase, fabricate. They're committing lies every day, telling you they're teaching you Hebrew and they're not. They might be teaching some dialect that's influenced by, that's Aramaic influence or Yiddish, but it's not the pure lip. As end times ramp up, do you honestly believe you're going to run into people talking fluent Hebrew to pure lip in their effort to tell you to get from one place to another, or to come, or to go, or what to take? Who to move with? Do you think all it's going to be fluent Hebrew? No, my brothers and sisters. We must begin to look at how we manage our time. There are brothers and sisters out there trying to make you think that they're so spiritual because they speak in the original Hebrew. There are some that say you can't fully understand Abba Yahuah unless you know the Hebrew, when they don't really know it. Lies and deceptions have seduced many into camps and consuming times and teachings and conferences, classroom settings, thinking they're learning Hebrew and they're not. My brothers and sisters, we must begin to learn the dangers in leaning on our own competence versus discerning the voice of the Spirit of Abba Yahuah that comes in Yahusha's name. We must begin to consider 2 Corinthians 3, 4 through 6, Romans 12, 3 through 14, which encourage us to not lean on our own understanding, but to lean on the Almighty Father, to look towards Yahusha, my brothers and sisters. Urgent consideration are coming. What do you believe the true looks of our communication will resemble, will reveal, as we find ourselves in motion to fulfill the final exodus, or find ourselves in motion to go to where Abba Yahuah will have us to go? My brothers and sisters, urgent language. Know how to get on the same page with a brother or sister in the native language that you have. For I can assure you, none of these mores or teachers are going to be speaking fluent Hebrew to guide you in the coming together for this final exodus or for the final days wherever we may be if we're leading up to our martyrdom. Next time a brother is talking and telling you it's Hebrew, ask them who taught them that. Where did they get it from? How do they know that's Hebrew? And if they're using words like using the J is not a part of that. Even the letter W was not an original Hebrew letter. It was double used. That's why we say Yahuah. Ooh. It wasn't a W. But some might say, I'm jealous, or I don't know what I'm talking about. Make no mistake. There's nothing wrong with learning various languages. But don't be deceived and don't tell someone it would be unwise and a lie to tell someone you teaching them the pure lip and you're not. That's misguiding people, my brothers and sisters. Enough said. Begin practicing having urgent communication with each other regarding coming together, what to take, with whom, which direction are you going, how long do you anticipate. Have wholesome conversations on sharpening their expectations. And be prepared with a ready mind, body, and soul to respond as the Spirit of Yahuah directs, as the Spirit of Yahuah, whom many prefer to say Ruach HaKadosh, which means set apart spirit. But the scriptures tell us and emphasize the importance of the name. In the name Yahuah sent his word in Yahusha's name. Pray and watch. The actions of many will show the difference in those who speak and understand one another versus those who are trying to perpetrate something that is incorrect. Pray, O Yashar'al. Time will soon bring corrections to how we should communicate with one another, especially during urgent times. That's enough. That's all I have to say for now. But begin to reach to the Almighty Father for clarity on how we manage our time. Consider Colossians 4:5, and I'll end with this passage. Walk in wisdom towards those who are outside, redeeming the time. Let us be mindful of what we're using our time for. My brother, my sister, my family. Shalom.